Welcome to the North East. It's great to see you. And the tour's going fantastic. How are you feeling, first of all?
I've got an infection on my chest, so I've been coughing, so it's made my throat really hoarse, So I'm not too bad,
A legend, I mean, an absolute legend. And you've worked this area many, many times, the North East. Tell us about your memories of the North East.
Oh, it's been great up here. I mean, I've always loved coming to the North East. We've had all sellouts, So we went to Leighton Meadows, and that was sold out. And then we've got 2 shows in...
I'll tell you where. You're over at Whitley Bay Playhouse, which is going great guns for you, and you've got a total sellout in Billingham. They put on a second night in Whitley Bay after the weekend. So, I mean, I've got a piece of paper, so I know. So, I mean, fantastic.
Right. Well, that's great, Whitley Bay. But the thing is, Jericho Corder's coming, And I've got fond memories of being up here, of doing all the clubs up here as well. All the nightclubs, Bailey's clubs and that, I went back years and years and years, and the fun we used to have when I was younger, when I was a young lad.
Wait, so mention some of the clubs that you remember, because the Baileys were legendary, weren't they? A lot of the big stars, and obviously you were there working for the Baileys organisation. So tell us a bit about that, your memories.
Well, I didn't see the front of the club anyway. We used to go in round the back. So I don't know what some of the clubs were called.
Right.
Sometimes I'd be playing and I thought, what's the name of that club? I'd ask the band behind me, I'd go, where are we tonight? He says, why, man, we're in Whitley Bay. And I'd go, okay, it's nice to be here in Whitley Bay.
Well, here's a club you'll remember. Here's a club you will remember. Stockton, Norton, and I'm talking about the Club Fiesta.
Oh, the Club Fiesta was a fantastic club, yeah, it was really good. It used to go up like that, the seating used to go upwards, They used to allow waitresses then to serve the drinks and things like that. I used to be looking at the waitresses, because they used to go bottomless. Not topless, but bottomless. I thought, was the first time I was bending over the table there. And, she did, and I was an almighty burp. I think it was the botsy burp. Like Max Ward would say, you got the botsy burp there. Things, were good there, I used to love all the clubs.
Great memories of the North East. And I mentioned one earlier on, which you couldn't quite grasp and remember. That was Castle's Club in Stanley. And again, you've worked that many over the years. I guess a lot of them just drift into one, basically, yeah?
Yeah, after doing like 50 years in the business, you do, you kind of forget till you're reminded of the places that you used to be at and how much fun that we used to have. And the clubs were really good. But the Bailey's clubs were really fantastic,
I love that song that you had out years ago. Do you remember, The Table Is Set?
Oh, yeah, It's You, it's called.
Go on, just remind me of it.
No, it's just at the Soundman's Gate. The Soundman's just walked past, I thought I'd say that.
Yeah. Great song, and that was quite a sizable hit in the charts as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it got to number 4, I think. 4 or something like that. I don't know, I didn't count.
Highlights of what has been an absolutely phenomenal career. You talk about 50 years in the business now and still packing them in as well. What's been the big highlights for you? I would guess the TV specials that you've done where you've got loads of famous faces in and you've really enjoyed those.
The thing is, people say, why don't you retire? And I says, well, why don't you? Because I love what I do. I don't do it for the money, certainly not. I just do it because I love performing for people. I like to bring smiles on faces, and then it makes me feel good. And so when I'm driving home in a car, and I've got like a 3.5-hour journey, I can think of the laughter that we used to have. And the most scary thing is when you play a theatre like this, is that it can be full of laughter. And you go to your dressing room, get changed. In 10 minutes you come down, and you walk across the stage and nobody in. And the whole atmosphere is gone. There's no one laughing, it's just a building. It's what you make that building into, really. You make it into a house of happiness, and people can forget the troubles, I just like to perform, I've always loved doing it, since I've been a kid.
And your Des O'Connor TV moments were magical. They were really, really special. Peak time TV shows as well, and great moments. You loved going on there. He loved you on there as well, didn't he?
Yeah, me and Des used to work well together, and we never used to rehearse anything, because I wouldn't rehearse anything with him. And he used to go a bit mad because I wouldn't rehearse with him. But I said, don't worry. I say to the director and producer, Brian Penders, I say to him, don't worry, I won't leave any egg on his face. I'll just do what I've got to do, I know what it is that I've got to do. I've got it worked out in my head and things like this. And some things wouldn't be worked out. They'd be just done on the spur of the moment. Well, like when I pulled him into the fountain, you know, when he was singing a song and the fountain started making a noise, a massive big fountain they put up, and there's water in it and everything. And Des came up, because I kept banging it with this wrench. And he came up and he says, you know, Freddie, what are you doing? I said, I'm trying to fix the plumbing. And he bent over like that, and all I could see was his tie hanging down. I got hold of his tie and pulled him in. And it was I don't think he minded that much, you know, but I couldn't really care if he did. But I just did it because it was good television, you know, and people like to see them sort of things, you know.
Still massive on YouTube as well. Tell us, TV just recently, and again, all those famous faces went into the jungle, but the one that really hit the headlines was you, picking the papers up every day, and in your brief period in the jungle, you were massive. The Sun had your front page nearly every day, and all the national papers did, along with them too. How did you enjoy that?
I enjoyed it for as long as I was in there, you know. But when I went in, I was jet-lagged, and I couldn't go in with the rest of them because my medication had just come through, and there was a bit of hoo-ha about it. I don't know what it was about. He wouldn't tell me. It was top secret. Everything was top secret. I was saying, just tell me what it is and maybe I can help. No, it's top secret, you see, and things. And I say, what is it that you want from me? No, it's top secret, like, you know what I mean? I can't show you, you know what I mean? I can't tell you, like, you know what I mean? And I, but for God's sake, you know, what is it? I mean, I should have gone to the jungle yesterday, you know what I mean? And it was like, what it was about was inhaler, you know, for my asthma.
Yeah.
And he said, well, that's not on your records here that you've got an inhaler. I said, is that it? I said, well, phone my missus up, Sophie, and she'll sort it out, which they did, and she sorted it out. And so they said, right, you can go in now. Just like that. You know, it was just like that.
I was waiting for that somehow.
Yeah,
So,
very good.
So, do you enjoy it then? Because, I mean, there was a lot of issues going on in there, and you were winding them all up, and you were a bit, you know, you're a bit near the edge at times on there, but it made great telly. Did you enjoy it while you were in there?
I didn't see it. When I was over there, I didn't see it at all, what I was doing or how near the edge it was, you know. I remember one night I was in there and it started raining, torrential rain. I thought, oh, that's good, because they pulled the canopy over. And nobody wanted this bunk. I wondered why they didn't want it, because they'd been in the day before I was. So I jumped on this bunk and it started raining, a really, really bad torrential rain. And it was hitting the rock and coming over me, so all my bed was just wringing wet, my clothes and everything. I had to go in the bush, took a telegraph place and say, look, I'm drenched, and can you move my bed for me? So they did. It was an experience, and I would have loved to have stayed in there longer, because the bookies had me, you know, to win it. And I didn't know that till I got back. I didn't think I did much good, really, in there.
Something you'd do again if the chance came up later on in the year, then November time whips around again, which it will pretty quickly. Is there something you'd consider again?
Without a shadow of doubt, yeah. I'd love to go in again. You know, because it's a good experience in there. You know, what people say, you don't realise till you get in there how different it is, because you're cut off from the rest of the world, you know. And you don't know what's going on. You don't know what day it is, what time it is. They set your watch off you, take everything away from you. Strip your bird, and I don't mean literally, but they just strip your bird of everything. With having jet lag, you can't sleep. And you think you're the only man in the world awake. You know, one of them feelings when you wake up, you go, where am I? Where am I? Yeah. You're in the jungle. Oh, yeah.
And Ant and Dec, of course, you're in the Northeast right now, and Ant and Dec, the phenomenal business, don't they? Continue to host that show brilliantly.
Ant and Dec are absolutely fantastic. I've always been big fans of theirs. I had quite a few laughs with them, you know, when I got out. You know, we talked about why I had to leave and things like this, but we had a real good laugh. And when I was in the Bush Tuckers trial, I mean, Ant and Dec was just laughing their heads off. When I ate the fermented egg that had been in sand for about 10 weeks, and it was black inside and green, and it just stunk. It was very rancid, and I just gobbed it down. and and so Mark, that was across from me doing his Bush Tuckers trial with me, he said, on the way there, I'm going to make you sick and all that. I said, okay, yeah, you do that. So when he sat down and he saw what was there, the fermented egg, he smelt it, he went, oh, dear me. And I just gobbed it down, had no expression on my face whatsoever. And he was going, man, you're an animal. He's just an animal. I said, I know that, but right, what's the next course kind of thing, yeah.
50 years in the business, I mean, where do you go from here? Still knocking them dead, and the punters love you tonight. Phenomenal reaction again there tonight. Tell us for the future for Freddie Starr. Do you just want to continue enjoying what you're doing?
Yeah, I like playing live. I don't like television because there's nothing for me to do on television. Like there's only, game shows and things like this. There's no variety or nothing like that anymore. That's finished. That's dead in the water. My sort of work is finished on television, unfortunately. I would like to do a series, but I would do it much differently than I did it before. I'd like the prosthetic skin on my face so I could do different parts, do it really good and do it properly and everything. Work at it instead of, because I've always ad-libbed on stage, I've always ad-libbed on television as well, and the television can't understand, the television people can't understand why you're ad-libbing. They think, what's he doing? But when they see the end product, they go, oh, that's what he was trying to do.
And the audience with was a chance for you really to do that for an hour, and you must love that.
Yeah, well, I wrote the audience with the first one I did. I wrote that myself, and I remember sitting down at the table after a script meeting, and they were looking at my script and things like this. They said, what's this? I said, I want to set fire to my head. And they went, what? And Nigel Lithgow said, if he wants to set fire to his head, let him set fire to his head. But they put things on stage because they knew what I'm like. So they put the maggots on there without my knowledge. The barbed wire rings they put on there without my knowledge. So I had to ad-lib all that. But we got about 18 million viewers for that. If a television company can't see how many people I can bring, 80 million viewers today is a lot of, Jeremy Kyle or Jeremy Vile, he likes to, because he draws 1.5 million in there,
It's a big difference.
Yeah, sure it is, and and he must look in the mirror, before he goes on television, and look in the mirror and say, "I am God." Yeah, and he just walks on stage. He's very rude to his guests, exceptionally rude to his guests. I don't know how he gets away with it. Talking to people like that. I'd just walk off or smack him or something.
So, who do you like? Who is working currently then on the comedy circuit, on the telly? What do you, when Freddie Starr's at home, what do you like switching on? Not much.
I like watching documentaries and things like that, and educational things like politics and things like that. That's what I like. When you switch over to Sky Movies, it's all about killing each other, or driving the fastest car. We have to get there quick. How long is it going to take us? Well, it's going to take us about 60 seconds, So it's all about driving and crashing cars and killing people and that, and it gets a bit boring after a bit,
Well, I've been talking to your tour manager, and he's been telling me you've had some real dodgy interviews along the way. I hope this one with Goffy has been all right and ticked a few boxes.
Well, Goffy, I hope you find your way in life and, and really tell the world and come out the closet, because you are definitely gay. So don't you dare cut that out. He is, ladies and gentlemen. He's wearing stockings, suspenders, high heel shoes.
Come on, I'll take the bar, Alan. Come on, it's all yours. Top man. Have a great night tonight in Sunderland. It's great to see you 50 years on, man. Still knocking them dead and having a great time. Keep enjoying it.
Goffy, you're the man.